Hello and welcome. My name is Michelle, the Music Mom, and I'm so glad you could join me today on my channel. Today's channel is about Transformation Thursday. It is a collaboration of a group of people that are wanting to explain how they're being transformed by the Almighty. And it was started by Transforming Melody and Spanky Cola, excuse me, Spanky Cola. I'm calling you Spanky. Oh my, I must have been one of your friends when you were younger. Oh well. But anyway, her name is Rhonda, and I really appreciate this. This is what drew me to YouTube and making videos. This Transformation Thursday. I enjoyed listening to the two lovely ladies, Rhonda and Melody, and with that, they sort of lured me in by their spirit and their soul, and I wanted to be a part of this because my faith is very important to me. So, without further ado, I'm going to go on and tell you about my transformation this week. As some of you have known, I've gone on about a month-long trek around the upper part of the United States, and so I haven't been making videos. And so I've been not having the chance to really talk about my transformation. I am a music teacher, and I enjoy kids. I love teaching them. They are so much fun. I've been teaching for 20-some years, and I've seen them grow all the way up and having babies, and they still are in contact with me, my students, and several of my students. And I love to see the growth. Just like my own children, I love to see how they grow. So it is a special blessing that God has given me. But I want to share something about this today, and it has to do with my transformation and what God has been speaking to me about this week. I am going through a discernment period of my career. Well, not really my career, but my job. I am trying to decide if I'm going to go back and teach in a particular school, a parochial school, and continue being a music teacher. Or should I sub in the public schools, or should I stay at home and be mom to my young teenage children? One of them is partially homeschooled, and the other one is just starting high school for the first year. I really believe this is a time period in their life that it's very helpful to be home as a parent to help them. So that is part of why I'm discerning what I'm discerning. I'm torn. I know my first vocation in life right now is to be a parent. And so you see where my dilemma is. I am really listening and praying to the Lord and talking to my husband and my children and discerning on what I really need to do. Like I said, I've taught in the schools for 20-some years. Really love teaching. That's not the point. I taught privately for over 20 years. Love that too. Except where we live now, it's a little more challenging for students to come to me. And I really don't want to travel to different houses all the time. So that's a little bit out of it. So what does this have to do with my transformation, as I keep trying to get to, but I keep going away from? So I'm sorry about that. I have been praying and praying. And in Jesus Calling, I've had that book for several years now, and I've always loved it. And June 27th, this is one of the things that I read and said, trust that I will equip you fully for whatever awaits you on your journey. I truly believe that. And this is also was the scripture that went along with it. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Genesis 28:15. So that's what I began reading at the beginning of the week, and I'm like, so what do I need to do? Then I was reading out another book that I am currently slowly finishing, just don't have the time to do it. So I read through several books at the same time. The book that I'm also reading, and I think I mentioned it in another video, but this time I wrote down who the author is. So if you're interested, you can look into it. 10 Prayers God Always Says Yes To by Anthony DiStefano. DiStefano. Oh, I could do that TMI tag. Words that you can't pronounce, there's one of them. His last name is DeStefano. DiStefano. Italian. Not hard to say. It's just not coming out of my mouth. All right. So anyway, in that book, the 10 Prayers that God Always Says Yes To, I read this. Our dreams are important. However, God knows what is better for us than ourselves. So let me tell you. I found out long time ago in my life that God does know what's better for you. He really does. And it started back when I was a child. You know how everyone has a dream and they dream about what they want to be when they grow up and so forth. So I wanted to be a sister, a nun. I really did. And you know, if something, God forbid, please don't have this happen. I hate saying this out loud, but I'm going to. If something ever happened where something like in my life I'm single, all by myself again, I would discern to become a sister. I'm a very prayerful person, and I had a lot of sisters that taught me when I was growing up. I had the next generations of sisters other than Befit, and the group of ladies, Denise and, oh my gosh, Sandy. Sorry about that, ladies. Denise and Sandy had. Mine were the newer generation, and so, I mean, I would play basketball with them. I'd play volleyball. We'd just sit and just talk, and so I had wonderful sisters growing up, and very full of the Spirit, and their souls were so, just open to whatever God had to say. And so I really wanted to become a sister or a nun. Another thing I wanted to become was a nurse. And so when I got into college, I began my studies and studying all the sciences that I needed to become a nurse. At the end of my first year of college, I was talking to my private voice teacher. That's the only way I had music, was through private lessons most of my life. And he had asked me if I was interested in trying out for the chamber choir, which was a small choir. Via the word chamber means small, and it's usually like 12 people. It could be smaller, it could be a little bit more, but pretty intimate, and which was is a very advanced choir in most schools. And I was like, okay, I'm only a freshman. I've never really sang in a choir very much before. And, okay, I'll try out. Yes, I was accepted. And I was like, wow, maybe the Lord is trying to tell me something. Maybe my dream of being a sister and a nurse are not just in the cards right now. I was like, okay. So I switched my degree. And as you see, I'm a music teacher. I'm so happy to be a music teacher. Now, another little side note about this, I never had an elementary music teacher. Okay, excuse me, maybe for 2 weeks in my whole entire elementary school. I'm not kidding. I never really had one I never had one in junior high. And I definitely had very limited music in high school. I was in the choir 1 year. But I did have private lessons. And so, to me, I felt like I was gypped. You know, I missed out. Not fair. I didn't get to have music in school, and that was like something I've always loved, was music. Yes, I was good in academics, math, sciences, you know, English, get that out of there. Sorry, not an English person. But I'm getting better. Working on it. But I loved all those. And so music, I never had the experience of it. So getting accepted into the chamber choir and then switching my degrees to music education was like a real 180. But somehow God knew me more than I knew myself, or I trusted to know myself. And you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. I love being a music teacher just as much as I love being a mom. So, my name, YouTube name, Music Mom, definitely. So, I got a call back from the original school that I taught at here in Colorado, because I'm on a sabbatical right now, and they're wanting me back, or at least wanting me to discern if I wish to come back. And I'm having a really hard time. I keep having different things going in my mind. And here's another quote, a Bible passage that I read. And this is what I'm relying on right now. I can do everything through him who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. And it's true. I can do everything through him no matter what has gone on in my life. And it's also true that God knows me better than anyone in the whole entire world, and including myself. Who most of the time, I sit there and think I know who I am, but I really don't know. And so I'm asking God and praying for God this week to help transform me into knowing what he wishes for me to do this next school year. Am I to sub, which I would be very content with. I'd still be around kids. I'd still get to do the things I enjoy. I love teaching. It's not just music. I love teaching. I just love being around kids. And I love the light bulbs go on. It's a joy. It's a blessing. And I also don't know if I need to go back and teach in the parochial school, because finding a part-time music teacher in a parochial school is rather challenging. And it's a lot of work. It may be a part-time job, but I do over 40, 50 hours a week, because I give my all. That's my problem. That's my dilemma. I give it my all, and my family gets set aside. And the final one is, do I stay at home and just be mom? We are financially capable of doing that. Obviously, I've been gone off on a sabbatical this past year. We're fine. Bless the Lord, and thank you. My husband has a great job that we're able to do that. So, that's my major transformation this week, is that I am in the midst of discerning what my calling is for the next portion of my life, or at least the next year or two. I don't know. So if you all could pray for me and help me with your prayers and giving a clear answer, all of the things that I'm wanting and willing to do are wonderful to me. I love being home with my kids. I enjoyed that last year. I got to spend time with them that I never did before. There wasn't that rush, and the holidays were so much more laid back, and especially spring and Christmas time, crazy, because I was always had so many programs to do. In parochial schools, we were allowed to do religious programs, so it's nice at Christmas time. And then so I'm torn. But if God also wants me to go in a completely different path, I'm content with that too. I'm an adventurous person. So anything he wants to throw my way, better watch that. Not anything. Anything that I can handle through him, I am willing to do. So pray for me, and I continue to pray for every single one of you every day, or at least most days when I really do. I really, really do. All my YouTube friends. So I pray for you. I pray that the Lord bless and keep you, and that his face may shine down upon you until we meet again. Bye. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week.